Welcome to How to Solve.
Hey there, have you ever wanted to create beautiful looking websites which were designed by AI? Awesome news! In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can generate these websites yourself. So we are going to build this using AI art as well as tools like ChatGPT. And in this video, I'm also gonna explain the whole process where we're going to start by creating a website design in Midjourney, and then we're going to be using an art tool to customize the image, and then finally we're going to plug it into a no coding tool, and we're going to jump into chat gpt and we're going to have it write an entire website layout for us. So all of the contents, the hero sections, and the future or feature sections for it, we can build an entire website from a ground up without writing a single line of code. And this will be pretty damn cool. So let's get started. We'll start with Midjourney. So this is the AI tool that allows you to create the AI art we're now seeing all over the web. So to do this, you just have to go to midjourney.com and join the beta. It's easy to get started because all you really have to do is join the Discord. When you open this up, the Discord community, you will click on accept the terms and conditions and start creating your own art. How do we do that? Here, I've got the Midjourney server and I'm gonna head over to one of the newcomer rooms here on the left side. Here is where everyone is creating different types of AI art. So the first thing we need to do is do a forward slash, then type in imagine, and this will give us a prompt where we can request the AI to generate any type of art. Where after here, I'm gonna type in a beautiful website for shoes, then I'm gonna pass in dash dash v4, which is basically a version 4 of the Midjourney AI art. Finally, I'm going to pass in stylize, and stylize is basically how random we want it to be. It's between a 0 to 1,000. I'm just going to set it to about 500, which is pretty much the average one. So here we will start working in the background. It's going to generate a low fidelity version of the website and the design for this art, and this is low fidelity version will be alternatively updated to higher in resolution and rendered with four examples. These can be picked from, and then we can upscale them as well. So let's have a look at what kind of results we are now gonna get. One thing to notice though here is that we do get a bit of a loading percentage bar, and this is how long it takes for the actual AI to generate the image. Usually it takes between 1 to 2 minutes, but it will essentially refresh and ping you once it's complete. So here it is, now complete, and here are the four versions that we got, which are really not too bad. Not that great either, but they're a bit, yeah, so. I suppose funny looking in a way. So this is where we can start being more creative with our prompts. So what I mean by that is by giving more context to what we want to do here, the prompt is exactly gonna do what you want. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pass in imagine once more, and then when I paste this specific prompt, this time it's gonna give me some more context. I'm gonna pass in the word UI, UX, UI, and I'm also gonna type in website, which basically means that it's more or less focused on having good UI and good at UX. And being more like a website rather than just a creative shoe design. It's very important to give this context clues to the AI if you want better outputs. Different types of content clues you can provide it are the kind of art style that you want, or for example, how do you want the design to look, whether you want it to represent a certain brand, and much more. These are just simple examples, but let's take a look at what kind of results we'll get just from making these small little changes to the design. Here you can already see that the design of the website looks like a little bit more interesting We have a bit of a slider and what looks more like a Nike shoes. Now we're also gonna have what it looks like at a menu here top. I really like this design that we have here at the bottom. So here it is because it does look very much like a website. We've got a bit of a hero set section and whatnot. So from here, we can select version 1, 2, 3, and 4 to upscale. I'm just gonna upscale version 3 here, which is U3, and this will give us a higher resolution version of this particular design. Then we can start to take to market or even use to build this again. It takes a little bit of time and it's gonna process this and it's gonna be doing an upskill in beta. And if we run this in the background so that you guys can see, this is what it looks like. Here is the final result. And this is looking pretty damn interesting. We've got a really nice design here for a shoe. And we've got a bit of a hero section too. So we also have what it looks like a 2 call to action buttons where we've got some options here at the very bottom and as well as the menu at the top, and we've got these colors too that will essentially be looking like the shoe colors being used as part of the website design. So not too shabby, but I think we can do a little bit more in terms of customizing the design for this website, and I'm gonna show you how you can do this. I'm gonna copy over this prompt once more, and for this prompt this time, what I'm gonna type in is a couple of extra things. So let me just maximize the screen. Right here, we're gonna type in imagine. Then we're gonna paste in this prompt, but this time I'm gonna pass this contact clues of Nike because Nike make obviously website shoes. We also want it to be red, blue, green, or maybe teal and yellow. And I suppose what else? Running person would be interesting too, right? So let's get this sign that one too. And I think that should be enough for now. So let's actually improve the styling here to 750 to make it a bit more well creative. And here are the results. I don't have a running person, but I do have a website that has definitely started using the colors that I recommended to Midjourney's art system. So to use this website, designs look way more creative than we had previously did. We still have this slider design right here at the bottom section where you can pick out different shoes, but even different shoes look so damn cool. I can see the Nike logo on these, and these are actually ones that I would preferably buy if I saw it in a Nike store. But generally, this also are websites because we've got the menus here at the top right. We have call to action buttons in here and the hero text. So generally speaking, these are really pretty interesting designs. Now I have other options here too. It's called version 1, 2, 3, and 4. What this does is actually allow you to pick more generation based on an actual image from these designs. Now all these designs I actually like the 3 and 4. I think it's most cool in a way. I think 4 actually kind of look good in a way with those teals and reds. So I'm just gonna click and select the version 4 here. It's going to create 4 more versions based on that specific version that I chose. So let's take a look at what those are. Here we've got our results. We have more examples of that. Actually, all of this look very similar. I think the only difference here is this red line, which seems to shift and change as well as the hero section. And where you would normally have this menu at the top right, sometimes these shoes here are a bit inverted, but generally speaking, this is the kind of variations you can expect. Now let's take a look at another way we can do generations for website art. Now what you can do is jump into any website and select an image that you like. I've actually gone here to Dribble and I'm pulling this image of this food delivery website. But I do like the design aesthetics, so we're gonna jump back into Discord. And we can do like a pretty similar prompt to what we've doing in the past, but this time I'm gonna type in imagine, and then I'm gonna pass in the URL we have finally. I'm gonna type in beautiful website. Also, let's say choose Nike like we did before in the UX website. Red, I suppose we can add in some teal, yellow, green, and then we'll finally do dash dash v4. So what's gonna happen here is it's going to have a look at this image that we've defined in terms of the URL. It's going to use that as a reference point. Then it's going to take a look at the prompt that we've put, which is the shoe prompt using the colors. And it's going to try to design a website for us, which has a pretty similar aesthetic to the image, which is really cool. So let's go ahead and check the results. Okay, now I think it's ready. Look at this. So here you can see that the design aesthetic that we originally had on this page for this design with more bubbly and colorful images are now represented very much. So in this design aesthetics, we have these four elements here at the bottom. And if I have a look at the design originally, we have four elements here. So you can see how it's pulling in this design aesthetics to create a design based on that. And this is where you can really start using the AI tool on your own, trying to combine different styles, customizing them, and then creating them and independent and unique ones too. From there, I have to say that I'm really liking this very first design here. It's really nice here at the very top. So what I'm thinking of is doing an upscale on it. So we're gonna upscale to V1 here, and we're going to wait for that to come back. And then I'm thinking, let's plug in into an actual website and build it without having any code whatsoever. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna be using ChatGPT to write most of the contents for us. And then I could take this to a client to immediately start selling. Here's the upscale that happened. If we take a closer look, we'll see that it has all of the elements for a website, including a logo area, a menu area, a nice hero image, as well as the title tagline. Also, we do have the feature section. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this image to my computer. And then I'm gonna customize this a little bit inside of Photoshop. But before we do that, we're gonna go ahead over to ChatGPT, where we're gonna prepare the outline for the website using some AI tools. So what I wanna do here is ask ChatGPT something like, give me the broad outline for a website for shoes, including, I suppose, hero title, tagline, call to action button, and maybe a section for features and details about the shoe. So now let's wait and see what ChatGPT comes back with. It's pretty quick. It's got a hero title here, a bold, eye-catching title now. Here, it's not really telling me what these are. This is what we might need to be a bit more specific as to what we wanted to do. It's given me like the broad outline of the website and what it needs. So please provide content for each one of this that I can copy paste straight into the website. So that's pretty descriptive one. Hero titles. Step up your style with our comfortable and stylish shoes tagline. Find the perfect pair for any occasion. So it's already got some pretty good ones in here. Call to action should be shot now, which makes sense. Features are shoes. So yeah, we all have that is in here. I think I've got enough here. So let's go to simply copy this straight to a website. So let's start beginning to design this next. I've opened up this design in my Photoshop, and I'm gonna actually just crop it into the main element over here. And I really wanted to capture this hero image, which I want to use as a part of designing. So I'm gonna crop it out. Most of the rest and the design, each aspect or each part of the design, bit by bit. But once we have this, we also have a bit of a hero section here. And what we can use is, I believe there is a brush here, like kind of like a healing patch, and it basically rubs out anything that you might not want in the design. So I'm just gonna rub out these words, this text over here, and this button over here. So now we've got more or less of this section here ready to go. I can even rub out some of the extra things that I might not like. Like here, some of this looks a bit of text just flying around, a little bit of yellow there, and generally we have a nice shoe aesthetic. And also we got a nice background. And the other thing I can do is actually expand this out a little bit more so that we have more room to play with, and use the content aware option from Photoshop to fill out the rest of the space. That doesn't really particularly look awesome. It is another way to do that. I don't think I'll do that in case. Maybe I'll just expand it out a little bit, and hopefully the AI from Photoshop can do a little bit better, so that's good enough. We can now save this to our generating website. There's actually another way where we could do this. We could load up this image here inside of the URL, grab this URL that we have, and throw it inside of the Discord channel. Here for Midjourney, we can issue another prompt here, very similar to what we had before. For this prompt, we could type in the URL with a more specific example of what we wanted to do. So in this case, I'm gonna type in imagine, and I'm gonna pass in the URL, and I'm gonna ask for a wallpaper, let's say render 8K, and I'm gonna put in version 4 and then stylize 500. And here's what we've come up with. These are actually pretty cool, and they're high in resolution too. As you can tell, they're on a white background, and they would be much easier to crop and place into a hero section to utilize for our website. We could still need to edit out some of these random pieces of text that is happening, but it gives you another way of how you can start editing images without even using Photoshop, and also using AI art in general. Now it's time to build our website. I'm just gonna head over to Editor X. So this is a no coding platform, and I'm gonna build this website in 5 minutes. Yup, you heard that right. In just 5 minutes or less. I'm gonna log in, and I'm just gonna head to create a new site here. I'll be taken to a dashboard, and I'm gonna start copy pasting all these elements from ChatGPT as well as Midjourney. The first thing that I want to do is jump back into PT here and copy over our hero text, which is just over here. And I'm just gonna select add title, and I'm gonna paste in that one here, and I'm gonna grab the tagline over here which says find the perfect occasion for shoes or something like that. So let's grab a paragraph section in here and paste that in. And finally, let's grab our call to action, which says shop now, and create a button for that too. So here we've got all of the workings of what we would need, at least for the content. Now all we have to do and all we need is the image itself. So instead of just having a browse through stock images or anything like that, we actually had images done earlier inside of Photoshop as well. We also have one from Midjourney, so I'm just gonna drag and drop a random image in here, and I'm gonna select to change the image, and I'm gonna upload that image that I had. Should be here somewhere on the desktop. Here, I'm gonna open that up, and I should be able to use that as part of this design. Now, once I've uploaded it, I'm gonna say update in here, and I'm gonna select the expand stretching tool, which will expand it out. And then what I'm gonna do is just move my content into position right here on the right side. And in just a matter of moments, we have a pretty good looking website. We can select the section over here too, and we can expand it out a little bit to give it more room. So basically, we have this text have a little bit more breathing room in general. Once we create these elements, we can now start resizing the page, and it's automatically responsive. We can even shrink down to smaller viewports, and it's just worked now. Let's take a look at the second part of this design, which has this box off on the left hand side. We have an image on the right hand side and the other three boxes at the bottom. I want to see if I can rebuild the same sort of aesthetic inside of Editor X. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select and add a new section, and I'm just gonna do a blank section in here. I think I'm gonna do a bit of a container, and this container here is what I'm thinking. Let's actually drag it over here, and if we take a closer look at the design, we've got a bit of a gray colored box. I also want to save this image and use the colors inside of the design here. So I'm just gonna do that right now. Let me actually change the image upload. This one that I've just downloaded right here, and then I can probably even just select those hexadecimal values to use for the design aesthetic. And this can be really useful whenever you're creating any type of design. So pull the actual colors out of the images, because sometimes there are the nicest kind of colors. So here I'm just gonna select this box. I'm going to the inspector. I'm going to the design. I'm gonna select on the background, and I'm gonna pick a custom color. I'm going to add a color, and what I want to do is I want to add this color, well, this gray color. So I'm just gonna open up the console here, and I'm gonna type in color red just for the time being. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do the picker here, select this gray color, and I'll close this off for the time being, and then jump back in. Let's add the hexadecimal color, paste this in, apply, and now we've got that box that we have here in the design. And now I'm gonna snap it into the bottom left of this section here, and snap it to the bottom left of display. So we've got that aesthetic going already happening here. The only other part is to make the background here very similar to the background that we have over in the image on our hero section. So again, I'm just gonna select that color in this F2 color, and I'm gonna select my container over here. I'm going to design the color, and I'm going to add that in. So let me just paste this hexadecimal value in, and now you can see two sections almost look like they're overlapping. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump in here and grab one of these images. I think I'll grab this one right here, which I quite like. I'm also going to see if I can pull out some of these little circles, because I think they make it more interesting in general. So let's see if I can just select them. I can, which is very cool. And then I'm just gonna cut that out. I think our image here is already here right there, and I'm just gonna save this as PNG with no background whatsoever. I'm gonna go to add an image, and then this time I'm going to upload that shoe image that we just got earlier. So there it is. Let's select to use it, and here it is. Now I can move this about pretty much anywhere that I would like. But if we take a look at the design we had earlier, I believe it was somewhere here. We can see that it was on the left, and we had some text going on the right side. So I'm just gonna replicate that, and I'm gonna put this here on the right hand side. And I'm also thinking to maybe do a bit of a column design here. So I'm gonna move this container here into this main column, and I'm gonna move this image here and center it in the middle of this column, and then I'll finally put the text on the right hand side column there. This mobile is responsive essentially when you can dock it from all angles, and then for the text I could probably even just drag and drop something in here on the right hand side. Since we have had ChatGPT providing us with good text, we can just copy paste these features and detail sections straight in here. Let me just double click on this text. I think I'm double clicking on it. I'm not sure what's going on, but we'll just click on this text over here and paste it manually. And then I'm just gonna expand it out and maybe make it a bit bigger, maybe at 24 pixels, so it utilizes the space just in this section. So that, I think this is already looking pretty good. I think it's overlapping a little bit, so I'm just gonna shrink it down a little bit more. So let's just move it over here, shrink it down, and let's make sure that it's nice and centered in terms of its docking position. So I'm just going to center it by selecting all of the items here, or you can do the text box and just center in here in the middle like that. So now, if I was to resize it, you can see it's utilizing the full size. You'll notice though that the image here for the shoe seems to be losing its styling when it's, I guess, supposed a bit a little bit bigger, and we can actually fix that to make sure that it keeps the same ratio by making sure it's bound to the box over here. So now even if I resize it, it still says bound in that box instead of that container. And this, folks, is more or less how you could start building a website without having to write any code, using all the tools that we've used like Midjourney to be able to design the really core website. And then you can use tools like ChatGPT to get the content for the website, and then using Editor X to put it all together in just one moment. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. That is how we use AI art and ChatGPT to create insane web designs.
Please like and subscribe for more content. We'll see you in the next one.